Okay, here we're going to continue in Chapter 9 on systems of equations and inequalities, and this is section 9.3 on systems of nonlinear equations and inequalities. And we're going to do this in two variables. So with systems of nonlinear equations, that means at least one of our equations is not going to be linear. The other one can be linear or it cannot, depending on where we're at in this chapter. Now the first one is with linear. So what we're going to have is we're going to have something like a parabola and a line, or a circle and a line. In each case, there's going to be three possible solutions for each. There's going to be no solution, where they basically do not intersect each other. So like if you have a parabola and a line not touching it, that's going to be a non-intersection. Same thing with the circle. Now with one solution, it's going to be basically tangent to the other graph. So if we have the parabola, it just comes in and it touches at just that one point right there. And the same thing with the circle. Now with two solutions, the line's basically going to intersect at 2 points on the graph somewhere. So, you could have the graph they have here, you could have a graph coming down like this, or with circles, any line going completely through the circle on both sides, that's going to be giving us two solutions. Now to find the solution of a nonlinear system of equations where one of them is linear, what we're going to do is we're going to first solve the linear equation for one variable and basically do the one that's the easiest to do. We're going to substitute that into the other equation. Then we're going to solve the remaining variable and plug into the linear equation to get the last variable, and then we're going to check the solution in both original equations. So let's look at an example here. Here it says solve the system of equations, and it's nonlinear because one of them, this one is linear. We have y and an x, and this one's not because we have the x squared, so it's going to be some kind of a parabola shape. And so what we need to do is we need to solve that first one for a variable, and I'm going to solve it for y. So I'm going to take y over here, and I'm going to take 2 over here. So I'm going to get 3x plus 2 is equal to y. So basically I'm just swapping sides here, and then it also swaps the signs. And then I'm going to take this piece, and that's equal to y, and I'm going to plug that in here for y, and then I'm going to simplify and solve that equation that comes out. So when we do that, and it's minus, then a 3x plus 2, and then equals 0. Now I have to remember to distribute that negative over. And now I have to think about what way to do this. I could use factoring here, which seems to be the way to go, or we could use the quadratic formula if we can't think of a way to factor this. But with factoring, all right, well, 2x squared, that's going to be a 2x and an x. And then 2 is going to be a 2 and a 1. Now, I'm not going to want a 2 here because that means I could factor out a 2 up here, which I can't. So the 2 has to go here. The 1 has to go here. And I want the larger one to be negative. So 2 times 2 here, that's going to be negative. So we get the negative 3, and that should be plus 1. So foiling that back out, we get 2x squared minus 4x plus 1x. So that's the minus 3x, then minus 2. Now I set each of these factors equal to 0, so 2x plus 1 equals 0, and x minus minus 2 equals 0. Now subtract 1, 2x equals negative 1/2. Well, I divided by 2 already in my head. And so then x is equal to that negative 1/2. Now here, basically I just add 2 to both sides, so x is equal to 2. So I've got two values for x, which we're expecting because we had the quadratic formula, or quadratic equation. And so what I have to do is I have to plug that back into the original equation, and then I'm going to get two y values out. So if I do that first one, I'm going to have y equals 3 times negative 1/2, and then plus 2. And so it's a negative 3/2 plus 2, and that is going to be basically 2 minus 1.5, or just 1/2. Now if I plug it in here, I get y equals 3 times 2 plus 2, so that's 6 plus 2, which is equal to 8. So I get y equals 8. So I get two ordered pairs. I get the negative 1/2 and then 1/2, and I also get the 2, 8. Now for this one, I'm going to actually show the checks. The rest of the chapter, or the section, I'm not going to show checks. I'm just going to leave that to the student and you have to do that yourselves. But for the first one, I'll show you. It's just like we've been doing. We plug each one of these into the original two equations, and we get our answers. And so we have 3 times negative 1/2 minus 1/2 equals minus 2. Well, here's minus 3/2 minus 1/2 equals minus 2. Minus 4 over 2 equals minus 2. Well, this is equal to a minus 2. So that one works in the first equation. Now the second equation, I'm going to have 2 times negative 1/2, and then that's squared minus, and then I have 1/2, and that's equal to 0. Well, now I have to square that, so 1/2 times 1/2 is going to be 1/4, and still minus 1/2. Well, here the 2 goes in here once, it goes in here twice, so I get 1/2 minus 1/2 equals 0, or 0 equals 0. So this one is truly a solution. Now 2/8. Well, here we're going to have 3 times 2 minus 8 equals minus 2. So 6 minus 8 equals minus 2. Minus 2 equals minus 2. So that works. And on the second one, 2 times 2 squared minus 8 equals 0. So 2 squared is 4, and I still have that times 2. And so I have 8 minus 8 equals 0, or 0 equals 0. And so that one works as well. So both of these are solutions, and they work in both equations. So that is the solving the system of equations. Now I put an extra page in here because I wasn't sure how much space it was, so each of these is going to have 2 pages after it, but we don't always have something on those extra pages. All right, so this one, what are we going to do? Well, this one, I have to solve for x because that's going to be a lot easier. And so I'll say, well, then x is equal to, add 3y to that side, 3y minus 10. Now I can plug this piece in for x here, and then I have to square it and then add y squared. So if we do that, we'll have 3y minus 10, the quantity squared, plus y squared is equal to 10. Well, now I have to FOIL that out. So this is going to be f, it's going to be first squared. So 3y times 3y is going to be 9y squared. And then 3y times 10 is minus 30, times 2 is minus 60y. And minus 10 times minus 10 is plus 100. Then plus y squared equals 10. Well, I've got like terms, and I can subtract 10. So 9 plus 1 is 10y squared minus 60y, and then 100 minus 10 is plus 90 equals 0. Now I have to factor, but I notice each one of these has a factor of 10. So if I multiply the whole equation by 1/10, that's going to reduce all my numbers. And when I multiply 0 times 1/10, I still get 0. So I get y squared minus 6y plus 9 equals 0. That's much easier to factor for me anyway. And so 2 factors of 9 that add to 6, well, that's going to be y and 3 and y and 3, and they're going to both be negative because I have to have a negative times a negative to get the positive, and a negative plus a negative gives me the negative 6. So that's y squared minus 3y, which is minus 6y, and then plus 9. So here I just get y equals 3, and it's the same for both of them. So y equals 3 is basically the only y value I get. And I can plug that back into here, and I get x equals, and it was 3 times 3 minus 10, so x equals a negative 1. Okay, so my solution then I say is a negative 1, 3. So the first one I had 2 answers, and so that meant it was a parabola, and I'm just going to draw a general parabola and a line, and so it was going like that, and so I had the 2 points where it went through. Now that's not exactly how it is, but that's just kind of an example. Now this one, what it is, it has to be a tangent, and well, this one's going to be a circle with radius r, which is going to be square root of that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just be coming along and touching at some point, just tangent to the thing. And so I just get the 1 point, okay? And again, I'm not going to verify the check on this. I'll leave that to you if you want to make sure it's correct or not. All right, what about the next one? X plus y equals 4, and x squared plus y squared equals 9. So this one, before it was easy, I could choose x or the y. It made it really simple. This one, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to say, well, let's say x equals negative y plus 4. So basically, I'm taking my y over, and I get my x, and then I plug that in here. And so I have a minus y plus 4 squared plus y squared equals 9. And I'm going to FOIL this out again in my head. So minus y times minus y is going to be a y squared. And then this is going to be 4 times the negative 1. It's going to be a minus 4y times 2 is going to be minus 8y. And then plus 4 times 4 is 16 plus y squared equals 9. Okay, so now I've got like terms there, and I'm going to subtract 9 from all sides here. And so that gives me y squared plus y squared is 2y squared. Then I have minus 8y. And then I have, let's say, plus 7. All right, and that's equal to 0. Now looking at this one, factors of 2 and 7 that add to 8, I don't see any off the top of my head. I don't think so. So this is where we're going to use the quadratic formula. And you can do this on any problem. If you don't want to factor, you can always use a quadratic formula. That's allowed. And basically, in this case, we're saying it's y. So y equals a minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over our 2a. All right, so we have our a, our b, and our c. And so let's plug it in up here so we have space. So a minus, and then it's a negative 8. So minus a minus 8 plus or minus the square root of b, which is the negative 8 squared. Then minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is 7, all over. And then we have 2 times a, which is 2. All right. So minus a minus 8, well, that's plus 8, plus or minus the square root of, well, negative 8 squared, that's going to be 64. And then it's going to be minus, and then here we have 4 times 2 is 8, times 7 is 56. And that's all over 2 times 2, which is 4. Now, looks like we can simplify. This is going to be 8 plus or minus the square root. 64 minus that's going to be 8 all over 4. Well, what is the square root of 8? Remember, that's the square root of 4 times the square root of 2, so that's just 2 square root of 2. So we can rewrite the square root of 8 as that. And if we do that, we have 8, and then we have plus or minus 2 square root of 2 over 4. And at this point, we can reduce. So let's get a different color. And 2 will come out of here. We have 2. And then 2 divides both of those. That's 4. That's 1. And so our basically now we have y is equal to 4 plus or minus the square root of 2 all over 2. So I've got two values for y. So that means I have y equals 4 plus the square root of 2 over 2, and y equals 4 minus the square root of 2 over 2. So what do I have to do with that? Well, now what I have to do is I have to find each one of those. I have to plug back into one of the original equations and solve for x. So if we do that for the first one, so let's say we have x equals, and so we're going to have the opposite of y. So we're going to change the sign of everything here. So it's going to be a minus 4 minus the square root of 2 all over 2. And then we have plus 4. Okay. Well, what does that tell me? Well, I have to get a common denominator. So I'm going to have to multiply that by 2 over 2 to get the LCD. And so then I have x equals a minus 4 minus the square root of 2, and then plus 8 all over 2. Okay. Well, now I've got 8 minus 4, which is 4. So I get x equals 4 minus the square root of 2 over 2. So for this y here, I get this x. All right, so now let's plug it in with this y. So I'm going to do the same thing except with a different y. So now I'm going to have x equals. Now I'm changing the sign on both of those. So it's a minus 4 plus the square root of 2. And then we have over 2. And then I'm going to say plus 4. And same thing happens here. I have to get a common denominator. And so that's going to be equal to a minus 4 plus the square root of 2. Then plus 8 all over 2. Now 8 minus 4 is still 4, and so I have 4 plus the square root of 2 over 2, and so that's, with this y, I get this x, okay? And so that gives me basically 2 points, and so if the 2 points are going to be, I get 4 minus the square root of 2 over 2, comma, 4 plus the square root of 2 over 2, and I also get 4 plus the square root of 2 over 2, comma, 4 minus the square root of 2 over 2. Okay, so I have the 4 minus the square root of 2 over 2, and this one over 2 with the 4 plus the square root of 2 over 2, which is what that one is. And this one I have 4 plus the square root of 2 and 4 minus the square root of 2. So 4 plus the square root of 2 and 4 minus the square root of 2. So I've got two solutions, and again, ideally, you would check both of them to make sure they work, and probably the easiest way to do that if you were doing it would actually just plug it into your calculator and just don't ever hit enter, just plug it all in one shot and you should get the correct answer there. And if you think about it, if we take this plus this, well, that's going to be 4 minus the square root of 2 plus 4 plus the square root of 2. The square root of 2's cancel. We get 4 plus 4 is 8 all over 2, which is 4. And so guess what? It works on the first one. And same thing would happen here. The square root of 2's cancel. We have 8 over 2, which is 4, which works. So the first one's really easy. Then the second one, that's when your calculator is going to come in handy because you're going to take that number, square it, plus that number squared, and you should get 9. So maybe let's go ahead and do that to kind of prove that this one does work. And so we're going to have parenthesis 4 plus the square root of 2, and oops, and then that's divided by 2, and I need some extra parentheses here. Oops. So I better add some, insert, and then I want a parenthesis, and I want it in parenthesis, and then I want to square that, and then I'm going to take that plus, and then I want 2 parentheses for minus square root of 2, and then in a parenthesis divided by 2 parenthesis squared, and hopefully that says 9, and it does. And if you do that in backwards order, we get the same thing as well. So that kind of shows you that, you know, it does work. Sometimes your check has to be done on the calculator to make it a little simpler. You could square this and square this, but then you're going to have, you know, a bunch of things in the middle that you have to take care of. All right, so that's the end of part 1. I'll come back with part 2 in a second.